Come with me if you want to play.
Welcome to Retro and Rare Unpacked, the show devoted to hunting down rare collectibles and playing with them. With your host, Myzter E. Today's adventure, the Terminator 2 Bio-Flesh Regenerator. Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of Retro and Rare Unpacked. My name is Myzter E. Pleasure to serve you. And together, we'll be embarking on exciting voyages through the corridors of nostalgia as we hunt down, open, and play with precious sealed treasures from the past. But before we begin, I'd be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to each of you for tuning in. You see, this show is more than just a passion project. It's the realization of a personal dream. And I have each of you dream makers to thank for it. Thank you, truly, from the bottom of my heart. Now, on to some very important business. There's a giant elephant in the room we need to address. Come on. Hello. So some of you might be asking yourselves, why on earth would I be paying a premium for rare collectibles only to then open them? Is this just a petty ploy to provoke true toy collectors? Am I just looking to garner more YouTube views? And don't I understand that opening a collectible diminishes its value? All firm but fair questions. As to the matter of a toy's worth, I personally hold the belief that its ultimate value resides in the eye of its beholder. Some collectors gravitate toward nostalgic value, fueled by feelings of personal attachment to an item or sentiment. Others look to its condition, or its rarity, or perhaps even its historical significance. Yet others gravitate towards monetary value, looking to online marketplaces and the laws of supply and demand to dictate its transactional worth. As a retro enthusiast, I have the utmost respect for retro toy collectors of all breeds. That said, I understand that some of them might disagree with the direction of this channel. Specifically, preservationists who champion maintaining their collections in their original pristine packaging. Collectors I have a great deal of respect for. To these individuals, I offer this. Believe it or not, I too consider myself a toy preservationist, albeit a preservationist of a slightly different variety. You see, while the factory-sealed collectibles we'll be hunting down and opening on this channel are unquestionably rare, I'll humbly submit that actual footage documenting the precious moment these toys are first opened and played with is even rarer. To the eye of this beholder, a vintage toy's value is not rooted in its quantitative scarcity, its pristine condition, or even in what its listing price is on eBay, but rather in the raw, unfiltered joy it creates in the moment it is first opened and played with. A precious moment we all experienced as children at one point or another. A moment now suspended in time and only accessible through the fog of memory. It is this moment that I'll be collecting and preserving here on this channel. And as to the matter of the newly opened vintage toys, well, they'll be put on display here in my toy vault and cherished, or be gifted to one of our lucky viewers. But more on that later. So in summation, my intent here is not to provoke, but rather evoke precious memories from your past. And in doing so, I hope to elicit a few smiles and laughs and, who knows, maybe even a few profound thoughts in your present. So thank you for joining me on this journey. It's time for our first toy bio. Reintroducing the Terminator 2 Bio-Flesh Regenerator, a groundbreaking playset inspired by the adrenaline-pumping 90s blockbuster Terminator 2: Judgment Day. Unveiled in 1991 by the renowned toy manufacturer Kenner, this innovative playset revolutionized the way children engaged with their action figures. At its core, the Bio-Flesh Regenerator offered an unparalleled experience, allowing kids to mold and deconstruct their very own Terminator figurines. What set it apart was its unique regeneration feature, which utilizes its proprietary modeling compound,
Marketed as Bio-Flesh,
to replicate the organic tissue enveloping a Terminator's metallic endoskeleton. Kenner, renowned for its mastery in crafting exceptional action figures and tie-in toys to hit movies and TV series, strategically launched the playset alongside a comprehensive line of Terminator 2 action figures and vehicles. The intent was clear: to immerse children in the thrill of recreating battle scenes, pitting traditional Terminator figures against the Bio-Flesh counterparts to simulate the battle damage a Terminator experiences in combat. This strategy not only enhanced the play experience for children, but also fueled sales of the broader Kenner Terminator toy line, turning these toys into must-have collectibles for fans and enthusiasts alike. Sadly, following its acquisition by Hasbro in 1991, the Kenner brand was eventually terminated, leaving behind a legacy of beloved toys. Yet the allure of the Bio-Flesh Regenerator endures, transcending generations with its nostalgic ties to the iconic film. Embarking on my solemn quest to obtain the revered Terminator 2 Bio-Flesh Regenerator, I traversed the hallowed halls of my local nerd sanctuaries. Armed with a determination rivaling that of the T-1000 hunting down John Connor, I scoured every inch of these nerdatoriums with unwavering resolve. I searched high. I searched low. I searched everywhere a 40-year-old nerd could go. I really have to stop reading so much Dr. Seuss. I just love him so much. My travels took me to galaxies far, far away, and even times prehistoric. I uncovered treasures that deserved to be unearthed, and a few relics that were better left off buried. Yet despite my best efforts, it just seemed like the Bio-Flesh Regenerator was not within my grasp. Though I was down on my luck, I didn't forget to have fun. After all, that's what toy collecting's all about. I felt like a T-800 marching through the dystopian wastelands of yesterday. An unstoppable force forged from the fires of technological prowess. A formidable machine crafted with precision and purpose. A symbol of relentless resilience. A marvel of technological... never mind. Store after store and aisle after aisle, I felt the Bio-Flesh Regenerator was within reach, and I was getting warmer. Warmer. Colder. Much, much colder. Alas, the first leg of my mission was a failure. My neural net processor was strained and sensed great frustration, but I reminded myself that the future has not been written. There is no fate but what we make for ourselves, and my fate was to find the Bio-Flesh Regenerator, no matter how much of a pain it proved to be in my butt. Back at the toy vault, the search continued. Armed with my lucky baseball cap and a 10 hours of free America Online floppy disk, I took to the interwebs to find the evasive collectible. Yet online marketplace after online marketplace, all I could find were spare parts. The playset, in sealed brand new condition, was nowhere to be found. But I was not about to let Skynet win. I began making phone calls to toy stores all across the country. I was nervous, my palms sweaty, my throat parched. I felt like I did when I was 15 years old, calling Sally Ferguson and inviting her to the homecoming dance.
And just as in the case of Sally Ferguson, the answer was unequivocally no. But I forged on, calling mom and pop toy stores across the Northeast, the Midwest, the Southern states, and across the West Coast. While every call ended in termination, this only fueled my determination. Having no success in the United States, I set my sights on Canada and Mexico, yet the results were both the same. Nada. It was safe to say I was in dire need of some regeneration.
I think I'm rolling. Hey guys. What's up with my hair? I look like Kramer. I'm not sure I'm going to use this footage in episode 1, but I figured I'd just turn on the camera and start rolling and see what happens. I'm driving home from yet another toy store, a really cool one based in New Jersey. Got a great staff. They carry a lot of really neat collectibles, and unfortunately I'm driving home empty-handed yet again. And I'm a little crushed by it, to be honest with you. I'm crushed by it because it's our first episode, and I'm already failing. And I'm crushed by it because, you know, obviously I'm biased here, but I think I have a really neat idea for a show. You know, this dude that circumnavigates the globe, finding rare collectibles and then playing with them. And certainly you can have this show without me. I'm not suggesting I'm the most entertaining dude or host for a program like this. I'm just a geek. But you really can't have the show without the toy. And I don't have the toy. And I'm losing hope. We'll see, you know. I put out some feelers to some of my dear friends who are in the collectibles arena. Some great guys and gals who are making a few phone calls for me. That might pan out, and you know, if it doesn't, this could be a sign that maybe I'm wasting my time. And perhaps this show shouldn't see the light of day. Either way, I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. I'm not sure how long episode 1 is going to be, but in a world of TikTok, for all of you who are watching this far into the episode, assuming it airs, I just want to let you know I appreciate you. Cheers. Hey everyone, so an exciting update. I just got off the horn with a gentleman, a very nice gentleman who is based in Germany. I was put into contact with him through a friend, a toy dealer, and he owns the Terminator 2 Bio-Flesh Regenerator. And he was asking $425 American for it. I told him that at $425, it might as well be $40,000 because if my wife finds out I'm spending over $400 on a toy, she will file for divorce and the legal fees will add up. So I told him no dice on the $425. After some back and forth, we netted out at $350 landed. That includes shipping. That's about $50 over my budget. I was expecting about $300 for this project, but I'm so thankful I finally got it.
Wait till you see this thing. It is in immaculate shape, fully sealed. The box is in incredible condition. It looks like it just came off the shelf at a Toys R Us from 1991. And we will pick this episode back up once it arrives. He ships it out this week. It should arrive in a little over 2 weeks, give or take, depending on customs. So thanks everyone for your patience. Really, really great news. The show will go on. Cheers.
Hey, welcome to the portion of the show where we take a few moments to appreciate the art that wraps around the retro collectible that is the star of today's show, the Terminator 2 Bio-Flesh Regenerator. I often think that artwork and packaging are two aspects within the realm of collectibles that don't get the appreciation or exposure that they deserve, hence the inspiration for this segment. I hope you enjoy it. We'll begin by analyzing the front panel.
In total, the front panel has 4 creative elements we will be reviewing together. The product's name, the illustration of the T800 himself, the most prominent creative element, which is the image of the playset in its entirety, and the images which demonstrate the toy in action. In the upper right-hand corner, a glossy metallic plate prominently displays the title, Terminator 2, accompanied by the words Bio-Flesh Regenerator directly beneath it, in a striking pinkish-red hue. This choice of color stands out as rather unconventional, given the traditional hues used by toy manufacturers on the packaging of toys historically marketed to young boys. This was likely a calculated decision on the part of Kenner's marketing team to help visually distinguish this product from other products on the shelves of toy aisles and make it more noticeable, so that short little pipsqueaks could easily spot the toy amidst the sea of Transformers and G.I. Joes and pester their parents to buy it for them. You'll note the use of pinkish red and pinkish purple hues is quite prevalent throughout the packaging of this toy. In the upper left-hand corner, the age recommendation of ages 4 and up stands prominently. As a seasoned 40-year-old, let us not overlook the inclusion of the portion that reads, "and up." Additionally, we glimpse the model number 56470. Clearly a coy attempt on the part of the T800 to conceal its true identity. Well played, Terminator. A cautionary note also warns us against the ingestion of the bioflesh by unsupervised children, a perennial struggle all too familiar to parents who consistently battle against tiny little Terminators who deem all objects as edible. Then, an arresting illustration of Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator himself dominates the scene, his eyes echoing the pinkish red of the Bio-Flesh Regenerator text we saw earlier. Next, we have the focal point of the front cover, the Bio-Flesh Regenerator playset itself. The illustration showcases 2 Terminators, one undergoing the regeneration process and the other having endured battle damage, demonstrating the complete life cycle of the toy. In the bottom left corner, 3 images illustrate the process of creating a fully regenerated Terminator. The first image shows the insertion of the metal endoskeleton into the playset's mold. The second image depicts the endoskeleton being enveloped by the bioflesh during the regeneration process. The final image reveals the fully regenerated Terminator emerging from the mold. The accompanying text reads, "Create your own Terminator, then tear him apart in battle."
Let's now move on to the booty of this box, the back panel.
In total, the back panel has 4 creative elements we'll be reviewing together. The product name and associated promotional copy, the image cross-promoting Bioflesh, images of the Terminator pre- and post-battle damage, and a second image of the playset. In the upper right-hand corner of the back panel, the familiar metallic plate and striking pinkish-red font are prominently displayed. This time, bold promotional language has been added to excite young consumers. Mold and destroy your own Terminator. The additional promotional copy speaks to the Bio-Flesh Regenerator being hailed as a revolutionary invention in the year 2030. It can disguise a Terminator's metallic endoskeleton with real skin, making him undetectable to humans. Lastly, it calls out the fact that this playset only can produce 10 Terminators. This leads us perfectly into the next part of the box we'll review together, the cross-promotional image of Bio-Flesh refills. The image shows a bottle of Bio-Flesh with a label that looks different from the one on the front and back of the box. It's there to inform kids and their parents that they can head back to Toys R Us to buy more Bio-Flesh as soon as they run out. I'm sure this thrilled hard-working moms and dads in the 90s. In the bottom right-hand corner of the box are two images. One displaying a Terminator that's fully regenerated, donning a bandolier and dagger and surrounded by his weapons, and two, a Terminator that has endured battle damage. Below both images is an itemized list of all the contents within the box. Finally, we have a second image of the Bio-Flesh Regenerator, one that is different from the image presented on the front of the box. This time, both Terminators are standing in front of the Regenerator. One, a metallic endoskeleton Terminator, and two, a fully regenerated Terminator, donning a bandolier and firearm. To their left is a yellow starburst that reads, "Includes 2 endoskeletons."
Given that the top and bottom panels and the side panels all have the same creative, we'll be analyzing one singular panel. Let's take a look.
In reviewing the panel art, we see 4 creative elements we're already familiar with, in each of the 4 corners of the panel. Starting in the upper left-hand corner and working our way clockwise, we have the illustration of the T-800 himself, the product name, a battle-damaged Terminator image, and 3 images showcasing the product in action. The only new creative element appears in the center of the panel, a 3rd image of the playset itself. Now, the fully regenerated Terminator is seen standing to the right of the Regenerator, donning the same bandolier and firearm we saw him strapped with earlier. The metallic endoskeleton Terminator remains on guard in front of the Regenerator. All right, everyone, time for the, in my humble opinion, coolest part of the show, breaking the seal. Pretty gnarly to think that the inside of this box hasn't seen the light of day in over 33 years. As you can see, it is sealed on both sides. Right there. It's kind of hard to see on camera. Admittedly, when it first arrived, I got a little worried because it looked like regular old packaging tape was used to seal the toy. And I thought for a brief moment that perhaps it was a toy that had already been opened and was resealed. But in doing some research online, I saw several Terminator 2 Bio-Flesh Regenerators, photos of several Bio-Flesh Regenerators online that had similar seals. So pretty exciting stuff. And now I'm going to do my best to set my camera down without having it fall over. If it looks like I don't know what the heck I'm doing, you are correct. This is my first time running a YouTube channel, recording a video, playing director, playing a writer, playing a plumber, all kinds of silliness. All right. So I think that's a good shot. And by the way, let me know if there's a different way you want me to break the seal. Please comment down below. Let's do it. All right. Let there be light.
So I'm going to video myself unpacking the toy. How interesting this segment's going to be, how entertaining it's going to be, I have no idea. What I can express is I'm geeking out right now because I've dreamed of this moment for well over 3 decades. I've wanted this toy for well over 3 decades, and I'm going to really relish in this moment. And I'm thankful that you're here to be part of this moment with me. Here we go. So this is the first piece. It looks like some semblance of a injector. No clue what that is yet. All right. Oh, cool. We got like a cross promotional pamphlet promoting other toys. That'll be cool. I'll share that with you guys shortly. Oh, cool. All the Terminator weapons and the bullets. Oh man, this is awesome. Oh my gosh, the first endoskeleton. And here is the second. Let's come up with the name for each of those two guys. Excuse me, girls. Let's see. There we go, put them back to back like they're about to have a duel. Oh, this is the mold, the injector mold piece. Pretty cool. I'll do close-ups of all of this later. And then this looks like it's the, what is this? Oh, this looks like it's a backdrop or stickers. I'm not sure yet. Figure that out. This looks like it's the overall, oh, here we go. This is the Bio-Flesh Regenerator powder, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like Play-Doh containers. If you guys remember Play-Doh. Of course you remember Play-Doh. I think this is a stand for the toy. For the, I should say the endoskeleton. You make them stand on one of those things. Remember when you used to buy G.I. Joes and they came with like a little stand with a little divot in it, and you put the foot of the G.I. Joe onto the divot and then it could stand still. Looks like one of those. This looks like a beaker of some sort. And this looks like it's, oh look, it came with a knife. Probably to cut off extra bioflesh. I don't know what that piece is. Good, the instructions, which we'll walk through shortly. Oh, here are the stickers. Let me get this thing out of the way. Why is this thing over here? All right, oh cool, here's the overall structure. Oh, I'm so stoked, and there's more stuff in here. Looks like another sticker. Basically instructions on not to eat the Bio-Flesh Regenerator powder, which I can't guarantee I won't. We'll see. More to come soon. Okay, as promised, we're going to go through the comprehensive list of items that were included in the package. So first is the instruction sheet. We have 2 canisters of Bio-Flesh, and I learned that these are the labels that you're supposed to apply to these canisters, which is an interesting choice. I wonder why they didn't have the labels pre-applied. And then there's an instruction sheet on how to go about doing that. There's this little beaker, which I imagine works in concert with the Bio-Flesh powder. And then some instructions on how to create Bio-Flesh. We have, of course, the 2 Terminator endoskeletons. Their awesome weaponry, which we have not opened yet. By the way, that looks like a claw. Interesting choice, but really excited to get that bag opened. We have the overall mold. We have what I'm going to call the injector. I imagine once you mix the Bio-Flesh in this guy, you pour it into this guy and then inject the Bio-Flesh into this guy. Moving to the right, we have some cool stickers that we're going to be applying to the set. And then, of course, a knife in the event that a burglar walks in on me during the course of this taping. I will have a weapon to defend myself. We have the overall regenerator piece. And then I learned that this is a playmat so that my mom doesn't kill me when I get Bio-Flesh all over the carpet.
So this goes right in front of this piece so that you can contain your messes. And then something equally as cool. I don't know about you guys and gals, but I love toy guides. Let's dive into this now. So based on some of the logos I'm seeing, this already looks incredibly promising. Here we go. My first time going through this book with all of you guys and gals. Oh, cool! Oh my gosh, Batman Returns action figures. These were awesome! This is based on the movie, right? Batman Returns. Yeah. So, interesting story about this franchise. My aunt, God rest her soul, actually hand sewed Oswald Cobblepot's costume for the movie, in addition to Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman costume. Oh, these are so awesome. Should they be the focus of a future episode of Retro and Rare Unpacked? Let me know. Let's see what else we got. Oh, the vehicles. Oh my God, the Batwing. How amazing is that? I remember wanting that so badly as a kid. This one was cool too, because you could, pull that little ripcord and the propeller would start spinning and it would fly in the air. But I always thought this Batwing was so gnarly. Oh my gosh, amazing. Oh, this takes me back. Oh, now they have, the Batmobile. Oh my gosh. The curves. Oh my gosh. I bet the fuel economy on this thing is horrible. Gosh, it's beautiful. Beautiful piece. Oh, I think we figured out a future episode of Retro and Rare Unpacked. Oh, that's so awesome. So it's the Batcave Command Center playset. I don't remember this one so much, but it's pretty cool. Let's see what else we got here. We got more Batman stuff here. Oh, Batman costume. That's me at the ripe old age of 8. Back when I had blonde hair and a waistline that was 6 inches wide. Oh, does this look familiar? I have a few of these pieces in my existing collection. Don't have John Connor, though, in the bike. I always wanted that. That's on my hit list. But I have the Power Arm Terminator. In fact, you may have seen it earlier in this episode. And I have some of the vehicles from this set. So cool. Oh, here they are. Yep, I have the motorcycle and the assault vehicle. Very cool. Oh, check that out. That is so cool. Oh, I'm keeping this booklet forever. I'm going to use this as my Christmas list. To guide my Christmas list, rather. Admittedly, I'm not much of a sports fan. I know that's sacrilegious for many of our viewers, all 3 of you. But I never collected these series. Did you guys? Would it be worth making this a future episode of Retro and Rare Unpacked? Finding these original figures in their sealed packaging and opening them? Every time I see these, I always think of Home Alone 2 when Kevin's using the BB gun to shoot at them. You guys remember that? Oh, here we go. Yeah, something similar to this. He was shooting at something similar to this, these basketball players. Yeah, sorry, can't offer much commentary on the sports pieces. Mondo Blitzers. Whoa, I don't remember these at all. Savage Mondo Blitzers. What the heck are these? They kind of sort of give off Z-Bots vibes. I was a Z-Bots guy, but I do not remember these Blitzers. Anyone out there collect these guys? Interesting. What else we have? Okay, more Blitzers here. Some Robin Hood. Oh, gosh. Robin Hood. I need a cup of coffee. Robin Hood is the knockoff brand that I collected as a child. I couldn't afford Robin Hood action figures when I was a youngin'. They look pretty detailed. They look not too bad. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, that's cool. Admittedly, these were never on my Christmas list as a kid, but some of these playsets and vehicles look pretty cool. Let me know if you guys collected those. What else do we got? Capital Critters. Oh my gosh. Talk about like niche. This was an animated show. I think it was on TGIF, and it only lasted a few episodes before it got canceled. My gosh, I had no idea they released an action figure line. They had time to release an action figure line. I could have sworn it got canceled in its first year. Maybe I'm mistaken. It was about these rodents that lived in the White House. They actually look really detailed. They look really cool. I got to research this. Oh, Nerf. Bats and basketball sets. Golf sets. Pretty neat. Got to show you guys my Nerf collection eventually. Oh, more Nerf. Now, here's what we're talking about, the guns. I think I remember the Master Blaster. And I remember the bow and arrow. I don't remember some of these other ones, though. Oh, how cool would it be to collect this whole original lineup sealed and then open it up and battle it out with my wife? Something tells me she'd win. She always wins. Am I right, fellas? You know what I'm talking about. All the married fellas out there. Oh, these are cool. I didn't know that they had like a Frisbee. Screamer disc. Nice marketing. What is that? Soccer balls and the hockey sticks and footballs. Very cool. Oh, the claw. I saw this on the cover and already forgot. Oh my gosh, do you guys remember this remote control vehicle? Its wheels would open up to do two things. Make it look absolutely terrifying because it would reveal, claws within the actual tires themselves, hence the claw. But it would also help the vehicle climb obstacle courses and rocks and stuff like that. Oh, I remember wanting this as a kid. Oh, this is so freaking cool. I'm going to cherish this forever. That's awesome. Time to open up the Terminator weapons. I'm excited about this. What am I doing with this? That's not a knife. This is a knife. Let's see what weapons we got here. I already see the bandolier. That's really cool. Oh, very neat. It looks like it has a dagger attached to it. That's pretty gnarly. Can you guys see that? Okay. Pretty cool. This looks like the exhaust on a Harley. What is this? I have absolutely no clue what this thing is. But we will find out. Stay tuned. A wrench for when the Terminator's sink gets clogged. The camera got blurry there for a second. Sorry, guys. Trying to do a couple of things at once. This is that claw that we saw earlier. It's an interesting choice. I wonder how they hold it. What it clips into. What else do we have? Oh, here are the handlebars for the Harley. I have no clue what this guy is. Oh, interesting. And then it looks like one of the, T-800 laser machine guns. Pretty cool detail on this piece. I dig it. Okay, time to unpack the Terminator Bio-Flesh powder. This is my first time opening this canister up. Let's see what it looks like. Hopefully it's still viable, 33 years. I don't know what that does to it. We'll find out soon. All right. Interesting. It appears a lot like cornstarch. I spent the next 20 minutes or so applying stickers to the playset. Realizing that watching a 40-year-old Eddie Munster lookalike play with stickers is probably not your idea of compelling YouTube, I decided to fast forward this portion of the show. However, if sticker application and commentary is something you'd like to see on future episodes, please comment below and let me know. What are the age requirements on this toy again? Okay, so next we have to place the cap onto the injector, and then something called a back plate, which is this guy, onto the square guides of the cylinder, which are right here. So I think it goes something like this. Alrighty, locked and loaded. Okay, so with the stickers in place, the next step is to place the placemat directly in front of the regenerator. Sorry for the wrinkles. I did the best I could trying to get them out before this video, and I failed miserably. And so based on the image on the front of the box, they had it placed about as so. Next, we're going to take the, well, let's just call it the Terminator turkey baster, hold it upside down, and the cap that we had applied to it earlier should allow it to perfectly lock in place on this dock. Awesome, so the very last step is to take our Arnold mold and insert it directly into this slat. Full transparency, this is the 7th take of this shot. I've struggled to insert it in the previous 6 takes, and consequently had to use a plethora of expletives, which I won't do on this take because it will insert perfectly. Right, Arnold? You will insert perfectly. Oh, thank the good Lord. All right, everyone, we are ready to start regenerating Terminators. Now, it's time for an equally as fun part of the show, playtime. Time to regenerate. First, the instructions ask us to place the metallic endoskeleton into the mold. Now the big question, which endoskeleton do we choose? Miles Dyson programmed me to pick you. There you have it. Now let's open up the mold and place our dear friend inside of it. Like a glove. Next, we have to pour a specific amount of the Bio-Flesh powder into the injector so that it meets the powder fill line. We will remove this thing, set it aside, and begin to pour the powder into the injector. Oh, too much. Next, we are asked to pour cold tap water into the measuring cup and fill the measuring cup to a very specific line. We are asked to use cold water specifically because warm tap water will cause the Bio-Flesh to set much faster than we want it to. So, in light of the fact that we do not have a sink here in the toy vault, this segment is brought to us by our dear friends at Pyrex. So let's give this a quick pour. Oh, a little more, a little more. What do you think? That seems about right. Next, we are asked to pour the cold tap water directly into the injector and then use the plastic knife that came with the set to mix the concoction together. So, here we go. Now let's give this a quick stir. I think that's good enough. Now to inject the mold with the Bio-Flesh. Oh, there's a bubble. Let's see what happens. Oh, that is so cool. I am gently pressing down on the Terminator turkey baster in the background. Oh, it looks like the feet aren't covered though. Alright, now let's let this sit for about 3 to 5 minutes.
I'm Terminator 1, I'm better. No, I'm Terminator 2, I'm better. No, I'm better. No, I'm better. My movie outgrossed your movie at the box office. Yeah, but that's only due to inflation. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yeah, hello. I'm Terminator 3. Get the hell out of here! On my back! You know what? You're not so bad. Yeah, you're not so bad yourself. You want to have some schnitzel and drink some beer? Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, let's go. Okay. My movie was still better. No, mine was better. No, mine was better.
So after 5 minutes, a quick check-in. During the injection process, a little bit of the excess Bio-Flesh shot out at the top of the mold here, and I'm using this as a gauge as to whether or not the Bio-Flesh inside the mold is ready. Seemingly it's still a little wet, so we're just going to give it another 15 minutes or so. So checking back in after 15 or 20 minutes, it appears as though the Bio-Flesh has certainly gotten harder, but still wet. So we're just going to let this sit for maybe another hour, maybe 90 minutes. The wife and I are going to go grab a bite, maybe a martini or two, and we'll be back to check in on our little friend shortly. Time for the moment of truth. So the full set time for this bad boy was a little over 2 hours. The instructions called only for 3 to 5 minutes. However, as you saw, I was checking in on our little friend here a few times, and each time I did, it just didn't feel as though the mold had fully set. So after having a few dirty martinis with my beautiful wife, we are back in action. The excess Bio-Flesh that shot out the top of the molding and on the side of the molding appears to be pretty dry, and the texture is a little hard to describe. The best way I can describe it is a gelatinous, wet substance that feels like rubber, but far more brittle. But this will be the first Terminator that I have molded, and I will be opening it right here, right now. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, I failed to mention that, as you can see, the feet did not get casted, unfortunately. I have reason to believe that as I was mixing the concoction in the injector, a little bit of the concoction got into the bottom of the Terminator, solidified, and prevented future Bio-Flesh from passing through. Hence why only the back of the feet, the 2 feet, appear to be molded. So, you know, what can I say? Doing my best here. So let's check this bad boy out. Fingers crossed. Okay, it seems to be stuck to the front plate. still appears a little wet, interestingly enough. Yeah, let's see how easily we can peel it off the front plate. Hopefully, I don't break it in the process. Oh, here we go. All right. Not horrible. Still a little slimy, but I give myself, I give myself a C+. The feet are not molded as expected, but that might actually work to our advantage now that I think about it, because this is the plate that Arnold's supposed to stand on. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise here. Let me set him on the plate here. Well, there you go. Not too shabby for our first Terminator together. What do you guys think? Now I have to use the knife to remove the excess molding. Hopefully I can do so in a manner that doesn't completely butcher Arnold. Before I remove the excess Bio-Flesh, I just wanted to do a quick 360 of Arnold. Not too shabby for our first try together. As you can see, he's already taken on some battle damage. Been hit with a few bullets there in his left calf. But his physique serves as a personal reminder that I desperately need to get to the gym. I spent the next 15 minutes using the plastic knife that came with the playset to cut off the excess Bio-Flesh from our newly regenerated friend. While I fervently believe martinis for lunch are always a good idea, in hindsight, having cocktails before having to channel my inner Doogie Howser was probably not the best decision. Drink responsibly, everyone. Now, time to take on some battle damage.
David Lee Roth, Sammy Hagar. David Lee Roth, Sammy Hagar. David Lee Roth, Sammy Hey. Uh-oh. We have company. Who is it? John Connor? No, it's our other arch nemesis.
Hey yo, Tin Man, prepare to be recycled.
Oh no, you're on your own, pal. David Lee Roth. Hey, Jungle Breath, your primitive weaponry is no match for my space-age technology.
Prepare to eat lead, Chrome Dome.
Resistance is futile. Prepare to be terminated.
Bleed motor oil, pal. Aw, man, I'm all out of bullets.
Yeah, me too. And, my face fell off.
Hey yo, this is kinda awkward. What do we do now?
I don't really know. I usually have a limitless supply of ammunition in my movies.
Well, this is all your fault. This all started because you gave my movie, Rocky 17, Rocky vs. the Abominable Snowman, a bad review.
What?
Yeah, you said the film faltered in its narrative structure and character development, and that its heavy-handed dialogue and uninspired storylines failed to recapture the magic of the earlier Rocky installments.
I never said that.
You didn't?
Not at all.
What I actually said was that you delivered an exceptional performance, bringing deep emotional resonance and authenticity to the character of Rocky Balboa. Your portrayal captured the essence of an aging fighter's resilience, vulnerability, and enduring spirit. The papers intentionally misrepresented my critique to further fuel our off-screen rivalry.
Oh man, you really said that? Well, maybe I've had it wrong this whole time. You know, I really love your movie career too. I mean, Kindergarten Cop, what a stellar movie. That line, "It is not a tumor," hilarious.
Yes. Tumors are funny, yes. I will say though, Kindergarten Cop pales in comparison to Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. That Estelle Getty, what a firecracker.
Yeah, that was a fun film, wasn't it? Well, look, Adrian's cooking some pasta tonight. Want to come over?
I would love that. I'll bring the vino.
That sounds great. Come on.
Okay. Random question. Do you listen to Van Halen? It's now time for a Retro and Rare exclusive, a segment devoted to sharing a rare fun fact about the toy that serves as the star of the show. These fun facts are learned through first-hand research and are not available on any other YouTube channel or anywhere else on the web for that matter. So, as cool as the Terminator 2 Bio-Flesh Regenerator playset is, it does have one major drawback. It comes with a finite amount of Bio-Flesh powder. Since Kenner Toys is now defunct and no longer producing refills, this can hinder current owners from enjoying the playset long-term and may deter collectors who like to play with their toys from purchasing it due to the scarcity of the Bio-Flesh powder. Well, in researching the ingredients of the Bio-Flesh powder, I found that it contains potassium alginate, silica in the form of diatomaceous earth and cristobalite, tetrasodium pyrophosphate, and coloring agents. I know, most of these ingredients were unfamiliar to me too at first, but I discovered that some of them are also found in the powder dentists use to make dental molds of patients' teeth. That's right! Dental impression powder is akin to the Bio-Flesh Regenerator powder. I tested several brands of dental mold powder and found that Cavex CA37 alginate impression material works the best. The best part is that the powder to water ratio is identical to what is called for in the instruction sheet of the Bio-Flesh Regenerator. If you follow the instructions using this powder, it should work just like the original Bio-Flesh powder that comes with the playset. The only difference you'll notice is that the Cavex impression material creates a slightly pinker skin tone, and it sets significantly faster than the Bio-Flesh powder. But, as an added bonus, it smells like peppermint. For existing owners, you no longer have to pay premium prices for a canister of Bio-Flesh when one becomes available on eBay. Instead, you can buy a bag of Cavex and produce your own Bio-Flesh. For non-owners who have hesitated to buy the playset due to the lack of Bio-Flesh powder on the market, I hope this helps motivate you to finally purchase this precious toy. I've included a link to purchase the dental mold powder below in my video. Enjoy!
As I reflect on the Terminator franchise and the thrilling science fiction concept of bloodthirsty renegade cyborgs traveling through time, I can't help but experience momentary bouts of time travel myself, back to the cherished playgrounds of my own childhood. And while playing with this set, I had an epiphany, and that is that each and every single one of the toys that I collect almost serve as time-traveling machines of sorts, holding the miraculous power to transport me back to a time where life was far less complicated and each day brimmed with the potential for a fun new adventure. A world where imagination knew no bounds, where cardboard boxes, magically transformed into intergalactic spaceships, and blankets served as the impregnable walls of my Gothic fortress. A world where the most difficult decision of the day was whether to eat Fruity Pebbles or Cocoa Puffs for breakfast. Life was certainly far simpler back then, far removed from the complexities that weigh upon us today as adults. And as I reflect on the Terminator 2 Bio-Flesh Regenerator specifically, I'm struck by its deeper symbolism, serving as a microcosm for the resilience of the human spirit. I know, it sounds silly, but hear me out. After all, as we grow up and we grow out of childhood, we have a tendency of taking on our own battle damage, don't we? And that battle damage can take on many forms and be the result of a variety of unfortunate things, such as relationship breakups and divorces, ungrateful bosses and unrewarding careers and the Sunday scaries that ensue, or perhaps even the tragic loss of a loved one. What types of battle damage have you endured? What types of battle damage are you currently experiencing? Whatever they may be, know that you're in my heart and in my prayers, and know that there's a strength within you far stronger than any metal endoskeleton. And just as the toy Terminators in this playset take the time to restore themselves after taking on battle damage, it's imperative that we do the same. It's essential that we prioritize self-compassion and emotional healing when life takes its toll on us. And just as the toy Terminators look to the mold to regenerate themselves, it's important that we too find the appropriate coping mechanisms that help us get through the difficult times. Whether they may be heartfelt conversations with loved ones or even professionals, a much-needed vacation away from everyone, some personal time for self-reflection, or perhaps even endeavoring on a creative venture such as starting your own YouTube channel. Whatever it takes for you to find healing. Amidst life's darkest hours, know that there's a bright beacon of light within you. And if you invest just a little bit in yourself today, just in a little self-compassion, even if it feels selfish, you will find that light. Sometimes not immediately, but always, ultimately. And you will be okay. And you'll live to battle another day. I hope you enjoyed our first episode of Retro and Rare Unpacked. If you did, please smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a post. Also, if there's a toy that you'd like me to search for and unpack here on this show, please comment down below on what that toy might be. If you have any fond memories of that toy, please include them. If your comment is selected, I will personally hunt down that toy, find it in pristine new condition, produce an entire episode surrounding it, and then mail it to you as my gift to you, as my thank you for sharing your great story with me. Until the next time, remember, life is intended to be lived and toys are intended to be played with. Hasta la vista, baby.